Hi, Michael here. Welcome back to the channel on March 29. We're almost noon Brussels time. And what did we see this morning when we analyzed data of the US of yesterday evening? We see Viking Therapeutics going up yesterday with almost 70%. Now, obviously, that raises the question what's going on there? Is that the result of the recent steep declines that we've seen both in Europe and in the US over the past 2 weeks? Or is something else going on? We'll have a look later. But fact of the matter is that again today on Wednesday we've got very nice openings on the European markets. All the markets are still in the green, and the futures for the US also look very positive. So it looks like we've got a nice rally going on, which is necessary so we can make up for the losses that we've seen over the past 2 weeks. Personally, um, in the beginning of the year, by the end of January, I had mostly made up of the losses I incurred in 2022, but that has all already evaporated over the past 2.5 weeks. So this is promising to be a very difficult year. Um, we're almost April, and although everything looks very positive, if we look underneath the bonnet, there are still issues going on. Most of us feel that the banking crisis for now is calming down, but this is a very weak trust that we have in the markets. Any news, be it positive or negative, can take us in either direction. Now, Viking Therapeutics, what's going on there? It's well, you can read what's mentioned there. Basically, what they do is they make drugs to cure obesitas, which of course is not only in the US but in every developing country a huge opportunity. And what we've seen is what made this stock rise yesterday with 69 plus percent is that on Tuesday, yesterday, they reported that one of their obesity drugs is showing very positive clinical results. And obviously, if you've already had that share in your portfolio, a big congratulations, because then you've been rewarded for investing in a very how shall I say it, a volatile and experimental share. If you didn't have it yet, you're unfortunately too late. So that's what's going on. We see that this is really a very high risk company. If we look at the profitability and the growth numbers here, first of all, they're not sharing all the data that is available. But on top, this is typically one of these companies that have years of investing ahead, years of making losses until they find that golden nugget and then finally can cash in, which is maybe what's happening to Viking right now. What we'll see is over the next days, people taking some profits here, so this share will go down a little bit again, and then it depends basically on what they have in their product development portfolio, to what trust this can amount, to see if they can keep up this positive trend for a while. I'm not buying. I would suggest you don't either, unless your professional advisor suggests you would. But it's again a very high risky stock, and yeah, basically the ones who weren't in there have not been able to ride on this opportunity here. Looking at the dashboard, file fairly up to date with 87%. Working hard on that. European markets have been open for 5.5 hours, 2.5 hours, waiting still for the US to open. Here we see Viking Therapeutics as the biggest riser yesterday. This shows again that there is a slight confidence going back, because over the past days we've seen here top movers with top percentages of, well, not more than 8%. And obviously, if these shares have been going down for weeks, they become buy worthy again, because of the simple reason that they are cheap. Now, for Viking, obviously, there were other reasons going on. I did not check what the underlying reasons are for PVH, Intra, and Alibaba. but very nice increases there as well, between 14 and 20%. The sweet spot spreads are, I would say, nice and modest, not the ridiculous spreads that we've been seeing here sometimes of 30, 50, 60%. Nice spreads of 10.88 for Oracle and 17.42 for Exelixis. Exelixis has been in the sweet spot for a couple of days, so it looks like it's got at this moment a place there that it's earned. Same goes for Schrödinger and PDD, although PDD is at this moment in a very downward trend. So it is in the sweet spot, but it's a share that should be looked upon very critically. That is it for now. There may be not too many updates coming in the next 2 days, as I'll be traveling to Asia. So expect a next update to come on Saturday if possible. I hope you've found this of interest. Looking a little bit more detail in one share in particular, there was a very good reason for that. If you did find it interesting or useful, please do subscribe. It's a big help for this very young channel. And if you don't like it, then obviously you don't like it, but it would be nice if you like it, as they say in the vloggers term. Again, thank you very much. We'll be back in a few days. Take care.